Hi there, I'm Russell from Hardy Eye Campers, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how everything works inside and outside of your chosen motorhome, Ted. First of all, the vehicle runs on standard black diesel. The main key is what you would use to open the fuel cap. This vehicle has an additive called AdBlue. For any reason, if a light is displayed on the dashboard and it needs replenishing, you can get any AdBlue from any service station. If you keep the receipt, obviously we will reimburse you on your return. The habitation door has a separate lock to the main driver and passenger doors. So of an evening before you go to sleep, you press the button on the key, or there's a button on the dashboard which will lock the two front doors. This is a manual lock system, so all you do is you'll push that lever all the way up to lock the habitation door. Just to remind you that for any reason, if the keys are left inside the motorhome with those doors locked and that is pushed up like so, if you then close the door, it will lock the keys inside the motorhome. So it's just a case of being a bit vigilant, especially if there's children on holiday with you. Down the bottom there, you'll see there's a valve, a blue valve. Ignore that. That is the valve for emptying the clean water tank over winter. In the winter, I'd leave that well alone. Okay, so here you now see the gas locker. This is where your gas bottles are located. And as you can see, one will be connected and one won't be. There'll always be a gas bottle connected with some gas in it. We never know how much, and there'll always be a brand new fresh bottle for you as well. When you run out of gas, you'll know because there won't be anything coming through the hob or the oven. So to replace the gas bottle, make sure that you turn the valve off completely. With the supplied spanner, you then untighten the hose, bearing in mind that it's an opposite thread to what you would ordinarily think it is. Then the hose will go onto the new bottle. Bear in mind that you have to just take off this black cap here. Once you've tightened the hose onto the new bottle tightly, you then open the valve, which means that the gas will then be fed into the motorhome. Okay, so around the back of the motorhome, you'll see there's a locker just located below the bike rack. And inside here, we have a few different things for you. It's your camping step, it's your electric hookup lead, it's the hose pipe for replenishing your water tank, and your level up ramps as well, if you needed to level the motorhome up on site. Okay, so just to the right of that locker, there is the main water entry. And this is where you would replenish your clean water when you run out. So for showers, washing up, and the electric flush toilet as well. You'll know when it's full because it will start dripping out underneath. There's an overflow, and it will also start coming out here as well. So as soon as that happens, you'll know that the clean water tank is full. So around here, you've got another locker. Now this is where one of the leisure batteries is located, and more importantly, the electric hookup socket. So when you're on site and you need to hook your motorhome up, you plug your lead in, feed the cord down just there, close it back over again, and obviously then your motorhome is hooked up to the electricity supply. Okay, so just as a fail-safe and you don't drive off with the motorhome still connected to the power supply, it's always good practice just to wrap the cord around the driver's door mirror so you'll see it before driving away. Okay, so the next locker is what people always dread, but it's actually not as bad as you think. It's the chemical toilet. The chemical toilet is removed by lifting this lever up and pulling out like so. I'll show you inside a little bit later on, but for any reason, if this cassette won't come out, there's a reason for that, and it's because the lever and the trapdoor inside the toilet has been left open for some reason. What you'd have to do is just go back inside the motorhome, close the lever back over again, come back out, and then you'll just simply pull it out like so, and then you're ready to empty it. Once the cassette is out, all you do is you pull this across like so, take that cap off, drain it down into the waste receptacle on your campsite, or even the toilet for that matter. Push that button, that will help the air push the waste through. Once it's empty, all you do is you pull that across and twist that like so, slowly, because obviously there will be some waste in there. It's good practice just to fill it half full with water, close it back over again, give it a bit of a shake, one more empty, and at that point you're ready to put your blue chemical in. So you only need a little bit of the supplied blue chemical, probably 2 or 3 capfuls. Mix that with about half a pint of water, close it back over again, give it a bit of a shake and a swish around, and you're ready to go again. And all you do, slide it back in gently till it clicks, and you're good to go. Finally, on the exterior of the motorhome, I've got to show you the waste disposal tap. This is for the grey water, so anything from the shower water to the kitchen sink water. The 60-litre tank, so eventually you'll need to empty that. If you're on a campsite, you can simply drive over their grid, or if you're on a fully serviced pitch, then there will be a facility there for the grey water. All you do, it says close now, you twist it round to open, the grey water will drain away. Make sure you close it once it's empty, and you're good to go again. Okay, so that summarises everything outside the motorhome. It's time to go inside and show you how everything works in there. Okay, so inside the main sleeping area, you'll see that you've got a really good size island bed. At the moment it's set up as a day bed, which means that you can sit on it and chill out, maybe read a book. Of an evening, you will want to pull the bed out to give yourself more space. And this is done quite simply by lifting the mattress, pulling the frame out, pulling the mattress towards you, and then flipping these cushions over like so. Obviously then you can make your bed and get a good night's sleep. There is also some storage underneath the bed, which is quite handy. It can be accessed from outside the motorhome with the locker at the back, but once the bed is pushed back forward with the frame like so, all you do is you lift it up, and obviously then you can store some things underneath there. So either side of the bed you have got some really useful wardrobes, ideal for hanging your clothes. For smaller items you've got some drawers here as well, and there's a nice vanity unit for getting ready of a morning as well. Okay, so Ted has got a really good size fridge freezer. As you can see, it's a really tall unit. Inside you've got a really large freezer compartment and lots of space for your food and drink as well. It is a 3-way fridge, which means it will either run off electricity if you're on hookup, battery if you're driving, or gas if, for example, you're wild camping. The good thing about this fridge is it's automatic, so you don't really have to worry about it. It will automatically select the relevant power source. So when you get to your campsite and you hook up, it will basically be displayed as a hookup. When you start driving, the battery will be displayed, and when you pull up, for example, at a service station and you take the key out of the ignition, it will automatically flick over to gas as it's done now. So ultimately you don't really need to do anything with the fridge. It will be cold when you arrive, and it will stay that way throughout the duration of your holiday. So moving on to the kitchen area now, you have a dual fuel hob. You have 3 gas rings and 1 electric ring. You have a grill, and you have a separate oven as well. Just something to bear in mind, to use the ignition switch, the power needs to be on. So there are various light switches around the motorhome. There's 2 here, one of which will operate the toilet. There's light switches down there for the over locker lights. There's one for the vanity unit down here as well. And there are also various different reading lights as well, which are operated by a switch like so. Okay, so every window and blind inside the motorhome opens. Just be careful when opening them, they can be quite delicate. Once opened like so, and the window's open, you need to make sure these are tight for the window to stay open. Do loosen them off before you close the window. And once the window is closed and secured, make sure these are tightened back up again like so. So every window in the motorhome and every skylight has got a blackout blind and a fly screen. They are spring loaded, so just be careful when you're using them. There are various increments that they can be set at as well, depending on how much light you want to bring in. And there are also curtains which you can use as well. As well as opening windows, you have opening skylights as well. So this is great for getting lots of fresh air into the motorhome. All you do is you push the button there, releases the lever, you pull the lever all the way across, and then the skylight will stay in the open position. Before driving away, always make sure not only the window's locked and secured, that the skylight as well. Like so. Okay, so there's some standard plug sockets located in the motorhome. These will only work if you're hooked up to an electric supply. There's 2 sockets in the kitchen area, there's 1 in the bedroom area, and there's 1 located behind the TV. If you're wild camping, for example, and you haven't got the use of the plug sockets, you can charge via USB. So the USB sockets are located in the cab area, behind the television, and there's 2 in the bedroom area as well. Okay, so the motorhome is equipped with captain's chairs, which is really handy for really opening up the living area. To operate the captain's chairs, there's a lever on the driver and the passenger seat that you've got to pull out towards you, start the manoeuvre, and then you can twist the seat all the way around like that. You might have to manipulate the seat forward and backwards depending on where it is to get that to turn freely. Just remember that when you are bringing the seats back around, ready to move off again, make sure that the seat will click firmly into place like so. Okay, so when the evening's drawing in and you want to get some privacy, you can close the cab blinds that are already fitted on this motorhome. You need to pinch like so. Be gentle because they are a little bit flimsy. And then you bring them over like so. The windscreen blind works in pretty much the same way as the side door blinds as well. Pinch like so, bring them across, being careful. It will get to this point. There is a rain sensor here, so just be a bit careful with this. And then when they come across like so, they'll meet in the middle, magnetise together, and that gives you the privacy on the windscreen. So Ted is a 4-berth motorhome, and other than the 2 front seats, there are 2 hidden seats which are situated underneath the 2 side couches. So to reveal those, you move the cushions off. These can be stowed at the back of the motorhome in the bedroom. The frame lifts up like so. You have to just pull this gently towards you, and the levers you pull like so, and this just locks into place. You then take off the cover for the Gucci travel seat. First of all, this lever needs to be pulled forwards like so. The second lever needs to be pulled up. That brings the back up like so. The base can then be raised like so and slotted in like that. So when arriving at different locations, you may well have to retune the television to get yourself a signal. Pretty straightforward to do. You go to menu, which is here. You press down to go to auto tuning. You press OK, down once more to UK, and then you press OK again, and then as you can see, within 5 minutes it will have found your TV stations. Sometimes you need to raise the aerial on the motorhome to enable you to get a good signal for the television, and the aerial is located at the back of the motorhome within this locker here. So all you would do is you would twist this thread anti-clockwise until it drops down to the bottom. You then push the aerial up as far as it will go, tighten it back up again. This should then give you the best chance of finding yourself a signal while on a campsite. Always remember, before you drive off and you leave your campsite, to lower this back down again and always tighten it back up like so. So onto the control panels now. The top one is the main control panel. The bottom one operates the hot water and the heating. When entering the motorhome, what you would do, you'd turn the power on like so. The right hand button here is for when you need pressure for example a shower or to run some water in the sinks. This one is the master switch to turn the electricity off within the motorhome, and this one is for the exterior awning light. This one will tell you the status of the leisure batteries if you press and hold, and this one will tell you how much fresh water you have in the system by also pressing and holding like so. So this is the control panel for the heating and the hot water. The heating and hot water can be operated via gas or electricity, but you need to select where that power source is coming from on the control panel. For example, hot water, you press if you're on wild camping, so the gas icon is illuminated. You press it a second time, which will display two wavy lines, which indicates that you're on electric hookup. So the boiler for the hot water will either be electric or gas operated. Much the same way for the heating system. If you're on a campsite and you're on electric hookup, you need the two wavy lines selected. Or if you're wild camping on gas, you need to have the gas flame illuminated. The plus and the minus buttons will mean that you can adjust the thermostat accordingly. So inside the cab area, the controls of the motorhome are fairly similar to a car. Indicators are on the left hand side, wipers are on the right hand side. You do have buttons on the steering wheel for Bluetooth, so if your phone is paired in, you can answer and end a call with these buttons, and you've also got a volume control and a mute button on the left hand side for the radio. Cruise control is operated by this lever here, so if you flick up once and then push the button up or push the lever up, then the cruise control will be set in motion. You cancel by pressing the button on the end of the stalk, and then to resume the previous set speed you press the button again, and that will take you back up to the previous set speed. There is a speed limiter as well. You twist that down to there, and in much the same way on the display you can set the speed so you can't exceed it, maybe through roadworks or that sort of thing. It's a standard 6-speed gearbox. It's a lift up, over and up for reverse. The reverse camera will pop up, I'll show you in a moment. There is a standard RDS radio, but it is DAB radio as well, so you can get your favourite radio stations. Standard buttons and levers for your heating, air conditioning button there, and then you've got your hazard warning lights, the button to lock the cab doors, button there for your heated wing mirrors, and here as you can see you've got a USB port and a 12-volt supply there for any other devices. On this particular motorhome, with it being brand new, you have got a tablet holder as well, or a mobile phone holder, which is quite handy. You just bring that open like so and it just secures into place. So Ted is equipped with a really handy reverse camera for any reverse manoeuvres that you might be doing. However, just to be on the safe side, it's always good practice to have a passenger or someone guiding you back, just to be on the safe side. So that pretty much summarises all the controls on Ted inside and out. Finally, before dropping the motorhome back off, we kindly ask you to replenish the fuel, empty the wastewater, fill up the clean water tank, and empty the cassette toilet as well. So that's pretty much it. We hope that you enjoy your holiday. If you need us for any reason whatsoever, don't hesitate to give us a call. But we look forward to seeing you on your return.